Once upon a time, in a distant galaxy far from Earth, there existed a planet called Zephyr. This was a world unlike any other, with vast purple skies, floating mountains, and crystalline rivers that shimmered like liquid light. The inhabitants of Zephyr were an intelligent species known as the Zephyr. They were humanoid in shape, but had translucent skin, which shimmered with changing colors depending on their mood. Their eyes were large and black, speckled with stars, and their long, delicate fingers allowed them to manipulate energy in ways that were far beyond the understanding of humans. The Zephyr were a peaceful people, always focused on the pursuit of knowledge, art, and harmony with nature. They had no concept of war or violence, for their advanced technology had long ago eliminated the need for conflict. The Zephyr valued peace and the sharing of experiences across generations. They communicated not only through spoken words but also through telepathy, allowing them to share thoughts, feelings, and memories instantly. On the planet Zephyr, there was no such thing as Christmas in the way humans celebrated it. The Zephyr had their own unique traditions, shaped by their culture, history, and their connection to the cosmos. However, one day, a curious event took place that would forever change the way the Zephyr understood the concept of Christmas. It all began when a small group of Zephyr explorers visited the planet Earth on a diplomatic mission. They were fascinated by the humans and their diverse cultures, particularly their celebration of Christmas. The explorers observed humans exchanging gifts, singing carols, and gathering with family and friends in a spirit of joy and goodwill. They were intrigued by the idea of celebrating a special day that brought people together, a day filled with love, kindness, and generosity. When the Zephyr returned to their planet, they shared their observations with the rest of their kind. The concept of Christmas resonated with them in a way they hadn't expected. They understood the beauty of coming together to celebrate love, peace, and connection. It sparked a desire to create their own version of Christmas, one that would honor their values and the things they held dear. The first step was to learn more about the human traditions surrounding Christmas. The Zephyr began by studying the stories of the holiday, particularly the legend of Santa Claus. They found the idea of a jolly figure who delivered gifts to children fascinating, but they quickly realized that their own world didn't have the same need for a mythical gift-bringer. Instead, they decided to create a new version of this character, one who embodied the spirit of giving and sharing, but also aligned with their own understanding of the universe. They called him Zirian, the gift giver. Zirian was not a man in a red suit, but rather a being of pure light and energy. He traveled the universe, visiting the homes of the Zephyr, not to deliver physical gifts, but to share knowledge, wisdom, and experiences. Instead of reindeer, Zirian's transportation was a shimmering craft that glided silently through space, powered by the collective goodwill of the Zephyr people. To celebrate their version of Christmas, the Zephyr decided to focus on the themes of unity, knowledge, and the joy of discovery. They called it Zilun, a name derived from their ancient language, meaning the light of togetherness. Zilun was a time for reflection, sharing, and the exchange of wisdom. Instead of exchanging material gifts, the Zephyr gave each other experiences, stories, and insights that could help them grow as individuals and as a society. The celebration of Zilun began with a grand gathering of the Zephyr. They would come together in the central square of their capital city, Zephyra, where a massive crystal tree stood. This tree, unlike any tree on Earth, was made of living crystals that grew and shifted in mesmerizing patterns. It glowed with an ethereal light, and as the Zephyr gathered around it, the tree would change colors, symbolizing the unity and harmony of their people. The Zephyr didn't decorate the tree with tinsel or baubles, but rather with soul stones. These were small, transparent orbs that contained the essence of an individual's thoughts, memories, and emotions. Each Zephyr would place their soul stone on the tree as a symbol of their connection to others. The more soul stones that were placed on the tree, the more vibrant and alive it became, radiating a powerful energy that filled the air with a sense of peace and joy. On the night of Zealand, the Zephyr would gather around the tree and share stories with each other. These stories were not just tales of adventure or fantasy, but also stories of personal growth, challenges overcome, and the lessons learned throughout their lives. The stories would be told in a unique way, through a combination of spoken words, telepathic transmissions, and even visual displays of light and color that represented the emotions and experiences behind the stories. One of the most important traditions during Zealand was the Circle of Knowledge. In this ritual, the Zephyr would form a circle around the tree and exchange insights and discoveries. These could be anything from scientific advancements to personal epiphanies. Each Zephyr would share something they had learned during the past year, and in return, they would receive a new piece of knowledge from someone else. The Circle of Knowledge was a way for the Zephyr to continue their growth as a society, ensuring that they never stopped learning and evolving. Zirian, the gift giver, would appear at the height of the celebration, his presence marked by a sudden burst of light that filled the entire square. He would float among the Zephyr, sharing wisdom from the farthest reaches of the universe. His words were not mere instructions or teachings, but rather gentle nudges that helped the Zephyr reflect on their place in the cosmos. Zirian reminded them of the importance of unity, love, and the pursuit of knowledge. His visits were a reminder that, no matter how far apart they were physically, they were all part of a larger, interconnected whole. As the night drew to a close, the Zephyr would return to their homes, but the celebration of Zealand would continue in a more personal way. In the days following, the Zephyr would spend time in quiet contemplation, reflecting on the lessons they had learned during the celebration. They would also engage in acts of kindness, reaching out to help others in their community, whether by sharing their time, knowledge, or resources. Though the Zephyr did not celebrate Christmas in the same way as humans, they had created a tradition that was deeply meaningful to them. Zealand was not about material gifts or commercialism, but about the sharing of experiences, knowledge, and love. It was a time for the Zephyr to come together, to reflect on their place in the universe, and to strengthen their bonds with one another. In many ways, the Zethyr's version of Christmas was a reflection of their values as a species, values of peace, wisdom, and connection. Theirs was a celebration that transcended the physical world and focused instead on the intangible, yet profoundly powerful aspects of existence: the bonds of love, the pursuit of knowledge, and the joy of discovering new truths together. And so, year after year, the Zethers celebrated Zealand, their unique version of Christmas, in a way that honored the spirit of togetherness, peace, and learning. As they looked up to the stars above, they knew that, just like the humans on Earth, they too were part of something much larger than themselves, a cosmic web of life and connection that stretched across the universe.